Hi everybody, this is Susie, and welcome to Wild Orchid Crafts Wild Bunch Project. I haven't been around for a while, and I'm not going to be for a little bit while longer, probably most of the summer. I have missed all of you very dearly, and I would like to share this one last project with you until my next one picks up. And I've altered a box, and I really want to share that with you and share along with you the beautiful flowers from Wild Orchid Crafts on behalf of the Wild Bunch. And please note that all of the flowers that were used in this project will be listed in the drop down box below right here, along with their item numbers in case you're interested in getting some for yourself. So without further ado, let me introduce to you this altered box that I had made. I'm just going to bring it over here. Okay, very, very pretty box that is really a nice size box. It is all wood, and I altered it with these beautiful papers. And I'm just going to turn the box some so that you can actually get a really good look at the top, which we're going to focus on because of the Wild Orchid Craft flowers, so I can share with you the ones that I had used, which were really focusing on the large rust-colored trellis roses that I felt that went really nice with the paper color. And I also just love all of these flowers here, which are the Mocha Hybrid Tea Roses. These are a really nice color. They're like a creamy beige color. Next to those, these large roses here are the trellis roses. And you'll see over here some of these, like, I forgot what you would call it, stamens. Okay, what I had done was, I don't know if you've seen these new flowers that Wild Orchid Crafts started carrying recently. These really beautiful hydrangea sprays. What I did was, and you can use these entirely on a project if you like, but I chose to break it up. And what I did was I used these stamens here and the leaves, excuse me, and the coil here. And as you can see, I'm just going to get a little bit close and not too close because I don't want to get blurry on anyone. But you can see I have the coil in here, which really gives it kind of a nice little bit of a vintage touch there. Sorry. And underneath in here, I have also, as you can see on this one, the leaves are there, but the flowers are kind of angled a little bit on the leaf, which is bendable because there's a wire behind it. And I also have these beautiful burgundy roses here, along with some of the seam binding here that I tied little bows and I glued them on. I also used this triple beaded, pearl beaded hat pin as part of the opening of the box. And I also used this, let me just get the correct name for you. They're the Ivory Pearl Drop Trim, which comes like on a vine of trim on a strand. And what I did was I cut up the little teardrops, and I used those kind of like as a focal point around some of the flowers to break up the burgundy. And I really liked it that I used the rust color along with some of those very sheer, I don't know if you can see it here, skeleton leaves. The rust color along with some of the burgundy, which was a really nice combination. You really wouldn't think so. I mean, I don't know if I would wear like a rust shirt with a burgundy blazer unless I would have maybe like a cream colored turtleneck underneath or a belt. So these other colors here broke them up really nicely along with this beautiful camel colored seam binding. And of course, in between, as most of you know that watch my videos, I like to use fillers. So I have these little hydrangea flat flowers here that I cut up, and I folded those in half and bent them and rolled them over as if they'd be a little petal flower. And I added those around in several places, and even some of these pretty two-tone pink roses there. And of course, adding a signature of mine that I usually do is scattered pearls all around, which were from my stash. The top of this box looks absolutely beautiful, and not because I made it. And also the colors are really kind of like a vintage kind of color, but more maybe into a wintry fall color. I know that everyone now is probably sticking to kind of like a summer spring look with lots of whites and pinks and yellows and so on. And sometimes when I see that, it kind of makes me steer into another direction, and I haven't really been crafting it all. So I wanted to share something with you before I actually completely take a break from the entire computer itself. So, altering this beautiful wooden box, I've also painted the inside like a very pale walnut color, and I liked using paint. This is actually paint on the inside of the box, and I liked it because it soaked right into the wood, which kind of looks like an actual stain. And I was kind of surprised when it dried that it looked that good, and that was the look I was going for. I'm sorry. And on top of that, around the edges here, I used some clear crackle paint, and I also used some of the vintage photo ink by Ranger, just etching the corners ever so slightly with some of that brown color to give it kind of like an aged look. So I forgot one thing to tell you. I'm sorry about that. That I also use these really pretty chandelier crystal kind of thingies. They're so beautiful. I don't know if any of you have ever tried them out. I'm trying to zoom up on that, but I don't want to get too close. So I'm going to go a little further back, and I'll pick this up maybe. You can see it then. And you see those crystals? They're so beautiful. What I did was I kind of tied them into almost like a flowery look, and I just put them in between two flowers. It really, really looks pretty. They're really sparkly. They're a beautiful style gem. A teardrop chandelier coming on a gold wire. Just really, really elegant. The box looks beautiful. And again, with some of the fillers, I use these daisy fillers on the bottom here. They're kind of flat flowers, and I cut them up and play with them, and I use them as fillers, which I really enjoy doing in a lot of my projects, because sometimes there's an empty spot that you just need to fill in, and that could be a small flower, or it can be some other kind of shape that you can create, whether it's a bow or some other kind of gem or a pin. So I hope that you've enjoyed seeing my box today, and I look forward to coming back and sharing some really new projects that I have in store to share with you through Wild Orchid Crafts. I've been sketching the last few months, and I've been planning, and I have an array of things to share with you here online, YouTube, and on Facebook. So please subscribe and stay tuned, and I hope to see you guys very soon. And if you're interested in getting some of these flowers for yourself, I'd love to see what you come up with. You can check out wildorchidcrafts.com, and we are also on Facebook. So just tell them Susie sent you, and you can stop by there to see the video that will be posted from Facebook, and a still life photo, which you can also check out on my blog at suziecrafter10.blogspot.com. So again, thanks so much for stopping off of the Wild Bunch today. This is Susie signing out, saying stay well, everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night.